Welcome to the season finale of the 32nd season of Scholastic Haiku, the game where knowledge rules. I'm your host, Ethan Neer, and we have two great teams with you tonight to decide who will get the title for the 32nd season. So let's go ahead and introduce them. On the bottom, we have Carbondale with Ryan, Clark, Daniel, and Theodore. And up top, we have O'Fallon with Garrett, Bella, Zachary, and Caden. Now, before we get into our questions, let's just do a quick recap of our rules. We'll start out with some toss-up questions. Those are worth 10 points. If a team gets it right, they move on to a bonus question, which is worth 20 and can be stolen for 10. You guys are allowed to interrupt me at any time, but if you interrupt me and get a question wrong, it is 5 points for the other team, so just be right all the time. If everybody's ready, let's get into the championship. What material, a type of thermoplastic polyamide, was used in parachutes in World War II and has largely replaced silk for use in pantyhose? Ryan.
Nylon.
Nylon is correct. Well done. For your bonus, the marriage of the sea ceremony was carried out in what city where the blind Enrico Dandolo was a doge?
Venice.
Venice is correct. Well done. Your next toss-up. In what novel does Roger Chillingworth suspect Ryan?
The Scarlet Letter.
Scarlet Letter is correct. Well done. For your bonus, pencil and paper ready. How many unique meals can be made from 3 appetizers, 7 entrees, and 8 desserts if they must have exactly 1 of each?
168.
168 is correct. Well done. Next question. What type of animal nicknamed NBA player Dennis Rodman a type of self-replicating computer malware and parasites with round and Daniel?
Worm.
Worm is correct. Well done. For your bonus, in May 2023, Tom Brady agreed to buy a minority stake in what NFL team, which Brady and the Patriots defeated in the Tuck Rule game?
The Raiders.
Las Vegas Raiders is correct. Well done. Next toss-up. What composer wrote about sisters Dorabella and Fiordaligi, who are tricked into falling for each other's lovers in his opera Così fan tutte? Theodore.
Mozart.
Mozart is correct. For your bonus, what member of the Black Hand was a Bosnian Serb nationalist who assassinated Archduke Franz Ferdinand in 1914?
Princip.
Gavrilo Princip is correct. Hold on. Next toss-up. What joint where compression of the median nerve can cause numbness and pain in carpal tunnel syndrome? Clark.
Wrist.
Wrist is correct. Hold on. For your bonus, the 12 tribes of Israel are descended from the 12 sons of what biblical son of Isaac who buys his twin Esau's birthright?
His twin. Isaac and
Elijah.
Elijah.
Elijah is incorrect. O'Fallon, chance to steal.
Jacob.
Jacob is correct. Well done. Take us to our next toss-up. What war ended after the Battle of Aegospotami and inspired a funeral oration by Pericles on clashes between the Athens Ryan?
The Peloponnesian Wars.
Peloponnesian is correct. Well done. For your bonus, condensates of integer spin particles, sometimes called the 5th state of matter, are named after Albert Einstein and what Indian physicist?
Bose.
Bose is correct. Well done. And that'll take us to our first media question. This tower defense... Damn.
Plants vs. Zombies.
You got that on like the first note. Well done. Plants vs. Zombies. This is the correct answer. And since that was a media question, there is no bonus, so we will just take it back to the toss-ups. What Dutch artist depicted a pair of ears wielding a blade and a bird monster eating a human in... Garrett.
Bosch.
Bosch is correct. Well done. For your bonus, a British earl lends his name to what group of marbles from the Acropolis, which the British Museum has long been asked to repatriate to Greece?
Smith.
Smith is incorrect. Carbondale, chance to steal.
Elgin.
Elgin marbles is correct. Well done. Next toss-up. What desert whose Nemegt basin contains many fossilized dinosaur eggs is formed by a rain shadow from the Himalayas? And Ryan.
Gobi.
Gobi is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what Mesopotamian city where the oldest known law code was produced was built near the mouth of the Euphrates River and is home to a great ziggurat?
It's Hammurabi. Yeah.
Ur is correct. Well done. Next toss up. What English language name denotes the bloc that won the Battle of Cerro Cora over Francisco Solano Lopez to defeat Paraguay in an 1860s war? Theodore.
Triple Alliance.
Triple Alliance is correct. Well done. For your bonus, in October 2022, the FDA announced a shortage of the immediate release form of what brand name prescription drug used to treat narcolepsy and ADHD?
Adderall.
Adderall is correct. Well done. Your next toss-up. What SI unit, which is used to rate fuses and circuit breakers, equals 1 watt? Garrett.
Ampere.
Ampere is correct. Well done. For your bonus, nuclei reappear and the spindle disassembles during what stage of mitosis, which is often accompanied by cytokinesis?
Telophase.
Telophase is correct. Well done. The next toss-up. What actress who played Helen Shivers in I Know What You Did Last Summer and Daphne in the live-action Scooby-Doo played Buffy in The Vampire Slayer? The answer we're looking for was Sarah Michelle Gellar. Sarah Michelle Gellar. Back to our toss-ups. What U.S. city that names a steel company that went bankrupt in 2003 shares its name with a West Bank city that is said to be the birthplace of Jesus? Brian.
Bethlehem.
Bethlehem, Pennsylvania is correct. Well done. For your bonus, in 1943, what U.S. city was the site of the Zoot Suites riots in which crowds and soldiers attacked young Latino residents?
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles is correct. Well done. And that'll take us to our next media question. Theodore.
TikTok.
TikTok is correct. Hold on. I'll take us back to our toss-ups. Mersenne numbers are one less than what numbers which have no... Garrett.
Prime numbers.
Can you repeat that for me?
Prime numbers.
Prime numbers is incorrect. I will repeat it. The question for you, Carbondale. Mersenne numbers are one less than what numbers which have no odd prime factors and are obtained by multiplying 2 times itself repeatedly? Clark.
Perfect numbers.
That is also incorrect. The answer we're looking for was just powers of 2. Powers of 2. Next toss-up. For which country, which was an independent state from 1404 to 1409 under Owen Glendower, does Plaid Cymru advocate independence from the UK? Ryan.
Scotland.
Scotland is incorrect. Garrett.
Wales.
Wales is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what Chinese philosopher of the spring and autumn period advocated for final piety in his Analects?
Confucius.
Confucius is correct. Well done. Next toss-up. What sitcom, which co-starred Vivian Vance as landlady Ethel Mertz, was a popular 1950s show about the wacky Miss Ricardo, played by Lucille Ball? Theodore.
I Love Lucy.
I Love Lucy is correct. For your bonus, what British author wrote about Larry Darrell's search for enlightenment in The Razor's Edge and depicted Philip Carey's maturation in Of Human Bondage?
Kendi.
Kendy's incorrect. A Final Chance to Steal.
Smith.
The answer we're looking for there was a William Malm. William Malm. Next toss-up. What reflex has a photic form caused by light, is normally triggered by irritation? Ryan.
Sneeze.
Sneezing is correct. Well done. For your bonus, in 2023, what Alabama senator announced he would place holds on all military promotions to protest military policies on abortion?
Tupperville.
Tommy Tuberville is correct. Well done. Next question. What man who succeeded Jose de San Martin as commander after the Battle of Maipú was a Chilean independence leader of partly Irish ancestry? Clark.
Bolivar.
As incorrect. Next we're looking for was Bernardo O'Higgins. O'Higgins. Next toss-up. What title character who befriends Polynesia, the parrot, and the two-headed Pushmi Pulyu is a doctor created by Hugh Lofting who can talk to animals? Daniel.
Dr. Moreau.
That is incorrect. Bella.
Dr. Dolittle.
Dr. Dolittle is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what author of Manhattan Transfer interspersed newspaper excerpts with the main narrative in his USA trilogy?
Dos Passos.
John Dos Passos is correct. Well done. I'll take us to our next media question. This song is by an increasingly popular K-pop girl group based in South Korea and is from their 12th mini-album titled Ready to Be. They debuted in October of 2015 under JYP Entertainment and consist of 9 members. Name this group. Daniel.
Black.
That is incorrect. Bella.
Twice.
Twice is correct. Well done. I'll take us back to our toss-ups. What toys made of soft spandex and filled with polyester consist of more than 1,000 different round stuffed characters made by Kelly Toy Clark?
Beanie Babies.
Beanie Babies incorrect. I will read it for you, Fallon. What toys made of soft spandex and filled with polyester consist of more than 1,000 different round stuffed characters made by Kelly Toys Holdings? I was looking for there was Squishmallows. Squishmallows. For your next toss-up, what group of elements whose atomic radii are the smallest in each period have... Daniel.
Halogens.
Halogens is incorrect. I will read it for you, Alan. What group of elements whose atomic radii are the smallest in each period have full valence shells of electrons and include argon and helium? Bella.
Noble gases.
Noble gases is correct. Well, for your bonus, 3C273 was the first known example of what very luminous active galactic nuclei whose name refers to their star-like appearance in early images?
Quasar.
Quasar is correct. Well done, Garrett. Take it to your next toss-up. What European country whose overseas possessions include Madeira and the Theodore?
Portugal.
Portugal is correct. For your bonus, in the early 1950s, the National Party implemented what system of racial oppression that was opposed by groups such as the African National Congress?
Apartheid.
Apartheid is correct. The next toss-up. What decade-long war attempted to prop up the communist Tsar Revolution against the Mujahideen until Mikhail Gorbachev withdrew troops in 1988? Clark.
The Soviet war in Afghanistan.
Soviet war in Afghanistan is correct. And for your bonus, what character who guides the narrator through the spheres of heaven in the poem Paradiso was based on a real woman who was loved by Dante?
Francesca. I don't know where it's Francesca.
Francesca is incorrect. Fallon, she has to steal.
Beatrice.
Beatrice is correct. Well done. And that'll take us to our lightning round. The way our lightning round works is each team will have 60 seconds to answer as many questions as they can about a certain topic. Now, Fallon, since you guys are trailing in this one, you get the first pick at the litter. Your choices are international artists, mountains, types of taxes, or New Mexico.
We'll do mountains.
Mountains it is. Name these mountains. 60 seconds on the clock. I will count you down. 3, 2, 1. The world's highest.
Everest.
The highest in South America.
Pass.
Is the tallest in Africa.
Kilimanjaro.
Shares its name with a country led from Nairobi.
Kenya.
The world's second highest.
K2.
Hawaiian mountain slightly higher than the Mauna Loa.
Mauna Kea.
A Colorado peak named for explorer Zebulon.
Pikes Peak.
Italian volcano that shares its name with a stuffed dish.
Stromboli.
Alpine peak whose name means white mountain.
Mont Blanc.
The highest point in Antarctica.
Mount Elbrus.
That's incorrect. The highest in South America. This is the only one you have left. guys are all out of time. The answer you're looking for was Mount Aconcagua. And the other one you missed there was the highest point in Antarctica was Vinson Massif. Vinson Massifs. All right, Carbondale, it is your guys' turn. Your choices are types of taxes, New Mexico, or international artists.
International artists.
International artists it is. Given an artist, name the modern day country where he or she was born. 60 seconds on the clock. I will count you down. 3, 2, 1. René Magritte.
France.
That's incorrect. Katsuhiko Hosokai.
Japan.
Andy Warhol.
America.
Konstantin Brinkosh. Excuse me.
Romania.
Pablo Picasso.
Spain.
Claude Monet.
France.
Vincent van Gogh.
The Netherlands.
Frida Kahlo.
Mexico.
Edvard Munch.
Norway.
William Hogarth.
Denmark.
That's incorrect. All right, we will go through the two that you missed. René Magritte is not from France, but Belgium. And William Hogarth was from the United Kingdom. So let's take a look at our scores after our lightning round. We have O'Fallon with 250, 2 Carbondales 445. So still plenty of time in the second half for things to close up. Take it back to the toss-ups. What novel in which a ghost haunts 124 Bluestone Road, the home of Ryan?
Beloved.
Beloved is correct. Hold on. For your bonus, New Haven, Connecticut, is on the northern shore of what tidal estuary whose southern shore belongs to New York?
Hudson. Long Island Sound.
Long Island Sound is correct. Hold on. For your next question, pencil and paper ready. How many yards are in 3 miles, given that 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet? Theodore.
5,280 yards.
5,280 yards is correct. All those trick questions. For your bonus, in 2023, Argentina and Egypt, among others, were invited to join what bloc of developing countries known by an acronym that includes Brazil and Russia?
OPEC. G20.
That's incorrect. O'Fallon, chance to steal.
BRI.
BRI is incorrect. The answer you're looking for is BRICS. 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 And that'll take us to our next media question. This, Theodore.
Venmo.
Venmo is correct. Hold on. Back to our toss-ups. What president who brokered the SALT II nuclear agreement and the Camp David Accords lost re-election in 1980 amid the Iran hostage crisis? Theodore.
Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter is correct. For your bonus, the Tryst with Destiny speech was given just before independence by which first prime minister of India?
Oh, Gandhi. No, sorry.
Never.
India?
Never.
Nehru.
Nehru is correct. Well done. The next toss-up. In what country were Anthony Rota resigned as speaker after honoring a former Nazi? Ryan.
Canada.
Canada is correct. Well done. Not their brightest moment. For your bonus, what poem that describes the title Vessel as the Eagle of the Sea is by Oliver Wendell Holmes Sr. and pays tribute to the USS Constitution?
Old Ironsides.
Old Ironsides is correct. Well done. Next question. What language was used to describe a blood-soaked cross in the poem The Dream of the Rod and to portray a mead hall attacked by Grendel in Beowulf? Right.
Old English.
Old English is correct. For your bonus, the Putrajaya is the administrative center of what Southeast Asian country whose states include Sarawak and Sabah?
Malaysia.
Malaysia is correct. Well done. Next toss-up. In what colony founded in 1587 by John White was the word...
Roanoke.
Roanoke is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what woman whom John Winthrop tried for heresy in 1637 during the Antinomian controversy settled in Rhode Island after being exiled from Boston?
Abigail Williams.
Abigail Williams is incorrect. Carbondale, chance to steal.
Hutchinson.
Hutchinson is correct. Well done. Taking your next toss-up. What figure, also known as Kore or the Maiden? Daniel.
Persephone.
Persephone is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what Bay Area jam band whose highest charting song is Touch of Grey was fronted by guitarist Jerry Garcia and has fans nicknamed Deadheads?
Grateful Dead.
Grateful Dead is correct. Well done. Next question. What is the surname of the nonsense poet who wrote The Owl and the Pussycat and the first name of the Shakespearean king who disinherits Cordelia? Theodore.
Lear.
Lear is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what quantity, which must exceed 1 for a sonic boom to occur, is the ratio between an object's speed and the speed of sound?
Mach.
Mach is correct. Well done. And this will take us to our next media question. This classic, Daniel.
Princess Bride.
Princess Bride is correct. Well done. All right, back to our toss-ups. What city is home to Henry Villas Zoo and Frank Lloyd Wright's Jacobs One House, is the seat of Dane County and the capital of Wisconsin? Theodore.
Madison.
Madison is correct. Well done. For your bonus, Ludwig van Beethoven's Eroica Symphony is given what number, which is also the number of flats in the key of E flat major?
3. 3.
3 is correct. Well done. Your next question, pencil and paper ready. What is the sum of the fractions 7/8 plus 9/10, given that the least common multiple of 8 and 10 is 40? Theodore.
71 over 40.
71 over 40 is correct. Well done. For your bonus, in 1981, what Arizona judge was appointed by President Ronald Reagan to become the first female justice of the Supreme Court?
O'Connor.
Sandra Day O'Connor is correct. Well done. The next toss-up, what woman who wrote the federal assault weapons ban died in September 2023? Clark.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg is incorrect. I'll read it for you, Fallon. What woman who wrote the federal assault weapons ban died in September 2023 while serving alongside Alex Padilla as a senator from California? And so looking for there was Dianne Feinstein. Dianne Feinstein. All right, I'll take us to our next toss-up. What author's series of extraordinary voyages begins with 5 weeks in a balloon and included the 1864 French novel Journey to the Center of Clark?
Verne.
Jules Verne is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what poet described a place where the rude forefathers of the Hamlet sleep in his 1751 poem, Elegy, written in a country churchyard?
Gray.
Gray.
Thomas Gray is correct. Well done. For your next toss-up, what Cremonese craftsman constructed the well-preserved Lady Blunt, the red varnished soil, which is played by Ishak Perlman, and many other violins? Theodore.
Paganini.
Can you repeat that for me?
Paganini.
That's incorrect. Garrett.
Stradivari.
Stradivari is correct. Well done. For your bonus, what two-word term from psychology refers to the simultaneous perception of opposing viewpoints which can cause stress?
Cognitive dissonance.
Cognitive dissonance is correct. Well done. Let's start next toss-up. John Ray III is leading the liquidation of what company that, with Alameda Research, collapsed as a...
FTX.
FTX is correct. Well done. For your bonus, while leading the Army of the Potomac, Joseph Hooker lost what 1863 Civil War battle in Virginia in which Stonewall Jackson was mortally wounded?
Chancellorsville.
Battle of Chancellorsville is correct. Well done. And that bell means we are all out of time on this season, so let's take a look at our scores. We have Carbondale on top, 755 to O'Fallon's 325. So well done, Carbondale. After a 2-year hiatus, you guys are back to being on top. That's all the time we have for this year's season. For all of our lovely contestants that have been on this season and the people working very hard behind the scenes, I'm Ethan Neer. Thank you so much, and good night.